Hello.
Welcome back to the Lexi and Lucie show. Today, Lucie had the genius idea of talking about
babies and booze.
Yeah, but not giving your babies booze, right?
No, of course not. That's not safe. The reason I want to talk about this is because Anne Hathaway was on Ellen DeGeneres a couple days ago, and she actually announced to her that she was not going to be drinking while her son was living in her house. So I think she has a new baby, and she said that she's going to wait 18 years before she drinks again.
You quit drinking after that, right?
I did. I quit drinking back in October.
Like forever?
For 18 years.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna stop drinking while my son's living in my house, just because I don't totally love the way I do it, and he's getting to an age where he really does need me all the time in the mornings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, one, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Two, I think that's kind of psychotic.
A little bit. I think she's a little bit crazy, but she said that she didn't like the way she was when she was drinking. She said that her son needs her all the time in the mornings, which I can kind of relate to. She said she did a hungover drop off at school.
Yeah,
with her
I
kid.
remember that, where she wasn't actually driving though.
No,
Apparently,
yeah, she wasn't driving, but she said it was enough to make her quit, which I can kind of relate to, like being hungover with a baby sucks.
It's
so brutal.
It's really hell.
And like, I don't know about you, but my alcohol tolerance has gone way down.
I know, I'm like a half a glass of wine.
I'm honestly lit after like a beer.
Yeah, I'm lit. Well, like, the reason I don't think it's psychotic to fast from alcohol. I think that, you know, it's good for her. I don't think she's psychotic. I think, you know, maybe that was a little bit negative, but I just think it's insane to me to give this whole part of your social life and everything up completely cold turkey. I think that if there are problems for 18 years, and I also think it's a little bit presumptuous to say, I'm going to do this for the next 18 years. Talk to me in 10 and see how well you've done. You know what I mean? Is she not going to have a drop of alcohol? Like, to me, okay, if you're going to say, like, I'm not going to have, sometimes my husband and I would do this where we're like, no booze for the next month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we'll do it together. And it's like, occasionally, like you said, like, you know, I'm lit after like a beer. Like, I'm more of a vodka kind of gal. Like, when the kids have gone to bed, if I've had like a stressful day or something, I'll have like an ounce of vodka. It's good for the system. It's good for the digestive system. And it honestly like doesn't make me drunk. It's like, I'm not drinking to get drunk. It's just like, I kind of like the like piercing like feeling as it goes through my, so I'm
it's
like
nice digestive sometimes. I think that's our Eastern European.
Yeah, it is. Like after a heavy meal, just like cut the fat. I will say, like, I think, you know, kudos to her for wanting to set a good example for her son.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think while you're breastfeeding, it's definitely way more important to be much more aware of your alcohol intake. I think if there's a history of alcoholism or of addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, definitely this is a good thing to give it up.
Makes sense for sure.
I think to go, you know, to be an extremist is not practical in any part of life. And so I think that's why to me it just sounds a little bit extreme to say I'm never going to do this for the next 18 years. I think also to like growing up, you know, in the sort of Eastern, I have both Eastern and Western European, you have Eastern European roots. Like I remember being older, but like, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12, and come Christmas time, having dinner with my grandparents, and they would always have like their drink was peach schnapps with ginger ale.
Classic.
So good. And I was allowed to have a little sip at dinner.
Same.
You know?
That was the same with my upbringing.
Special occasions, and you know, even with my son Theodore, like he'll ask me for coffee. So like we do this thing where we'll let him, obviously when it's not piping hot, like dip his finger in and taste it, or like with wine, dip his finger in and taste it. He's probably too young, but I think that this idea of like sort of the cultural familiarity with alcohol is probably on a psychological level a little bit healthier for the child to grow up knowing that, hey, there's this thing, it's alcohol. People do it at certain times when they're celebrating.
What I found is children who, or not children, but like kids or teens, when they when they are exposed to alcohol for the first time, you know, when they're like 17, 18,
15.
They can't handle it because they've never had a drop in their life.
They've never had it, and they're also like they're also like prone to lie to their parents about it too, which is not good. And I think nowadays, like being in Canada here, marijuana has just recently become legal, and this is something that I have a far greater issue with, you know, with my child, because it's one thing if you see somebody stumbling down the street and they've got a brown paper bag and they're drinking, like, you know, you kind of grip onto your child, or you say, you know, say a prayer for safety that like they don't come and attack you or something like this. But like, it's another thing when somebody's smoking a joint, because that smoke gets in the air, you walk by it, and like secondhand smoke and like getting stoned off of that is like not a myth. Like these things happen. So like, I think that's a lot more concerning from a mom perspective, for me at least, from a mom perspective. I personally don't feel the need to give up alcohol cold turkey 100% for the next 18 years. So I would never do that.
Where do you stand on drinking during pregnancy, drinking during breastfeeding?
I think drinking during pregnancy is stupid. I think it's just stupid, because the thing is that we know that when a woman is pregnant with a baby, there is no filter from the alcohol that she drinks. Yeah. So if she has however much alcohol in her system, it's the same amount for this small little person. And so you could not even be tipsy, and the baby could be like, you know, blottoed. And that's really, really scary to me.
I do know some people who had doctors tell them that they could have a glass of wine.
I have seen this. Night. I have seen this all over too.
But there's no research that actually proves that it's safe. It's safe.
There's no research
for me, like safe. Unless it's proven many, many times, then I would never.
What has been proven is any form of alcohol on a fetus does have a chance of affecting brain development. You know, when I was in Paris pregnant, did I have a sip of wine? Yes. Did I have a glass? No.
You're in Paris. So.
Yeah. So I had like a little sip, you know what I mean? Wet my whistle, but I definitely, that was more for just to taste. And I felt guilty about it. And it was one, maybe 2 sips, like for the entire week we were there kind of a thing. I'm a little bit of a prude, you could say, about this. When you're breastfeeding, I think it's very different. There is a filter in the milk. Yeah,
breastfeeding is a little bit of a different story for me. I might have had a beer or a glass of wine and then breastfed, but I always kind of made sure I waited an hour.
I think that's the right thing to do.
But again, Mayo Clinic says that you should wait 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, which is pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 3 hours. I think that, you know, even if you have some alcohol, like let's say 1 drink, okay? And let's say like not hard booze, and it's right before you feed your child. I actually think it's probably better to feed your child than like starve them and make them wait for an hour to 3 hours. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but I also think that like in reality, a lot of women this is not common practice. It's kind of like, oh, it's, you know, we just had Christmas. So it's like Christmas or it's New Year's, and it's like, you're going to have a drink, you're going to have 2 drinks, and then you're going to wait 1 to 3 hours and feed your baby. And it's not an everyday kind of thing. So I think it's fine. But we were talking in our other video about low milk supply, about how this can lower your milk supply, and I think that's a real issue. Something that I haven't heard is when you have a glass of wine when you breastfeed, it helps the baby sleep better. This has not been my experience.
Oh, me neither.
What do you think Anne Hathaway, the message that she's trying to send to her son is?
I think she's trying to be a positive role model for him. I think that what she's trying to do is be there for him 100%. Because we all know when you're a little bit hungover, or even when you've had a couple of drinks, you're not 100% on the ball.
So like my whole thing is,
good. I think it's good, but it's also very bold.
I think it's really bold. I think it's good that she's trying to send a good message. I just want to say one more thing. Sorry. I you know, alcohol is not bad. I mean, the first miracle Jesus ever did was turn water into wine.
There you go.
And so like, it's just obviously getting drunk is the issue. So I think that like pregnancy, absolutely no alcohol. But like, I think if you're going to have postpartum at any stage, whether it's 5 years postpartum or 5 months postpartum, you're going to have a drink or 2.
Yeah, just don't binge.
Don't binge. So yeah, what is that? It's like 4 drinks within an hour. Is that
Something
binging?
like that, yeah.
Yeah, high school's done.
You're a mom now.
Smarten up. No, I'm kidding. Subscribe to our channel. Smash those buttons.
Give us a thumbs up.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.